Sydney, you've brought the fire all week long, and now FaZe Clan have too. We have got a grand final to enjoy and indulge upon. Astralis came into this as hot favorites. The first map, Cash. Admittedly, Astralis had never bested FaZe on this map, but with the weaknesses in the roster coming up to the grand final, with the absence of Olofmeister, this was staged to be rather one-sided affair. But in overtime, they thrive, and now I have my analysts to go ahead and try and piece that one back together. Janko Paunovic and none other than Chad Birchall joining us. Gents, I'm going to maintain my excitement, but I am starting to have some hope for a grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were talking about FaZe coming into this one. Their T sides looked really weak. They started off on the T side here on Cash, winning pistol, losing the anti-force by being 3-1 down, and then they picked up the pace, right? We saw some very cool strategies from them. The one in overtime that we saw where they didn't smoke off between Forklift and Red really and took that fight. That's a bit unorthodox, and that really threw Astralis a little bit off guard. So on top of that, they had the Guardian clutch and everything, but that's like just the bonus. It's good to see them that they got the fundamentals down.
Nice and poetic there to have Karrigan clutching a 1v2 against two of his former teammates to win the map. I think that's something that he's going to remember forever. If that was in the 5th map of a series like this, that would be nuts. But the fact of the matter is, exists. You know, the guy who I thought was going to be more of a liability in this team, he's stepped up big time and time again, and I think his impact is definitely being felt right now.
We talked about the T sides of FaZe. On this map, no less, they looked floundered. They looked miscommunicated. They looked awkward. They now come into this grand final against undoubtedly the most practiced and prepared team in Counter-Strike at the moment, and they get double digits on their T side. It's been quite the revolution in what has been, what, a week, Janko?
Yeah, absolutely.
They got it together.
Absolutely, and we were talking about how they are comfortable playing against Astralis, and there's a good chance that they will step it up and play, you know, better Counter-Strike than we saw up until this point. And another thing, they basically lost 2 pistols, right? Won the first one, got immediately force bot on, lost the second one. So FaZe really had to grind this game out. They defended 2 match points towards the very end of the game, so you have to give them props for really being relentless.
Something I want to note here just quickly is it seems that Rain, in terms of, I know we've just plug and play, we're putting Exist into the same positions as what Olof was playing, but it feels like Rain is doing more of the Olof job, more aggressive, and it seems like if you look at his stats with opening kills and deaths, he's had the highest in the server out of anybody, which means he's initiating these fights, he's getting involved, and his impact there, it's almost 50-50. I think it was he had 8 successful duels and 7 of which, you know, he went down. But with that in mind, he's kind of changing his play style, and Exist might be going into his more passive positions.
Testament to how much of a brawl that game was. If you take a look at the multi-kills, everyone is like between, what, 6, 7, 8. I'm seeing across the board. Everyone was having their own rounds where the round just went their way, and it was, you know, truly kind of exhilarating, especially this. This was so much fun to watch. Device in such an awkward scenario and getting taken down by the man they put on the bench. Ooh, dish best served cold, revenge.
You can't script it, right? You can't write it any better, an ending like that. And this is what you love to see, because now you're hoping that FaZe has the confidence coming into some of these other maps, that especially Karrigan as the in-game leader is aware, okay, this is what might work, what might not work, that the individuals feel like they have the upper hand. We were talking about, you know, this is FaZe's first pick in a best-of-5 series, so you do expect if they're going to win any map in this final, it would have to be Cash. Now they're moving to Overpass, which we've seen them veto across this tournament.
Yeah, this has transitioned, Chad. It's made quite the evolution from being the map you should fear FaZe on most to the map that FaZe fear the most. It's been quite the change since the loss of Olof.
It's a weird mix, but I think, you know, now that I can see that everybody seems to be playing to a decent level, this one might not be as one-sided as I had painted the picture of before, which is fantastic for the crowd and everyone viewing at home. But the preparation of Astralis kind of gets more of a chance to shine here. They can set their defaults on the T side, which is where they're going to be starting. But maybe those grenade strats that we were talking about, the use of those HEs that Rain is so scared of, once you establish that default, once you get that map control, you're actually going to get to see some clips here that we had from Marseille, where this was against Liquid, I believe, and they tried to target with the HEs, but it didn't land. Just the idea was fantastic. I think we're going to get some examples of them retaking the B bomb site on Cache as well. This one right here. And this is
grenades or something?
Yeah.
You know, it just shows you the great use of utility that Astralis have. They really take it to the next level. You know, teams, you have players just throwing random nades, you know, around the area. They hope that they can really nail it down. While Astralis, you can tell that they've been practicing this, dry running it on the server and just go, okay, this is the lineup and let's do it right.
Yeah, so 4 HEs, you're on an eco, second round bye. It was actually versus FaZe. You get to see what they got up to here, and it is just collaborative effort and goodbye. 2 players in window melting. Like that's stuff
Little
you just
details.
don't see.
But this is the tiny details, right? The thing is, they're actually going for more of an approach of Counter-Strike, which is tactically based, whereas what we've seen from teams over the last 6 months is more playing off of your teammates via individual skill and making the right decisions.
Sure.
This is using the utility, the strategies, the timing, the fakes, the pressure, and then forcing the kills from that point. And they've got the stars to back it up. So disappointing first map. I feel they might be a little bit shaken after this one, Yanko.
Yeah, it might be the case, and the silver lining for FaZe is coming into this one. Overpass was a great map for FaZe, and if they can somehow reignite that spike, reignite that fire, we might have another competitive game, especially with Guardian being on fire, right? We know that Overpass is basically his playground at times, but it's the same case for Device. So Device was having the upper hand in some of those head-to-head duels on Cash. We'll see how it unfolds on Overpass.
No, absolutely. Guardian is scary, but I think what's so interesting, you know, from an analytical point of view is that Exist is a player that you don't expect to see leading the fray for FaZe Clan. But this is testament to what he is capable of. I mean, there's not many players, Chad, that you'd probably put in a similar category that you're not surprised. You're not necessarily surprised when it happens, but it's not something you're expecting.
Yeah, especially when you've got Guardian, Nico, and Rain around you, right? You don't expect him to step up to that level. We've obviously seen Carrigan do it with a couple of plays here, there, and everywhere. But people are quick to forget that back in 1.6 days, Exist was a fragger. He wasn't an in-game leader. If you look at only CSGO stuff, sure, he's done a lot of that throughout his career, and that hampered his playstyle over time. But now that he's back in this role where he can be a little bit looser, he can go off Carrigan's calls, he's actually an asset in lots of ways because Carrigan didn't have anybody experienced to give him ideas. And now he has got someone who has won majors, who's been a top dog in CSGO for a long period of time.
And also considering Overpass is coming up next, he holds that B bomb site with Nico, who has been, you know, struggling a little bit on Cash, so it's great to have him having a good performance for that CT side. And you do feel like Nico, this is where he would need to step up on Overpass. He has that role towards B on the T side where he's looking for fights, but again, it just feels like it's one of those positions where everyone knows what he's going for, and people just deny him those easy fights, those easy duels early on.
To build on that, though, of course we have them holding over towards that side, but if I'm FaZe right now and I'm starting on the CT side going up against the structure of Astralis, keep taking the brawl to them. Go hyper-aggressive on the CT side, not only over towards that party area, but be doing it towards water. Get control of that, because we highlighted at the start of the show that be execute and how powerful and potent it can be. You remove that territory, they're done.
You can also see how much more fluid FaZe was in this game on Cash, right? You could see time and time again on the CT side. Pop flashing A main, let's try, let's not leave anything to chance. Mid-round towards B, you saw the round when Rain got a double kill. Smoke off B entrance, they've lost control of checkers, Guardian pop flashes for him to clear. That's something that's been missing from a lot of teams and FaZe on their CT sides. Very static. We were talking about it earlier on in the tournament. Too much reliance on, you know, we have great individuals, they'll just kill whoever comes their way. They actually realize against a team like Astralis, you have to try, you have to constantly take it to them. You have to constantly be on top of your game.
And God, imagine what you've just described over the course of 5 maps. I would be exhausted. You guys were tired after 1 intense show match, never mind 5 of them on that crazy stage. We may very well get there. Chat.
Yeah, the elements from outside of the game, like sure, like getting exhausted from playing so much, but I think there's a mental element here as well, right?
Talk to me.
There's been the history of when Carrigan was a part of the Astralis roster, the fact of the matter, they would always choke. They wouldn't win the grand finals. They wouldn't even, you know, get to the grand finals, not making it past the semis. Now that it is Carrigan versus the old trio, Zipnix, Device, and Dupree, in this roster going head-to-head right here, right now, and Astralis are the favorites this time round, maybe it's a chance to prove for Carrigan that it's the other 3 that are the chokers in the grand final and not him.
Well, I mean, if you look at the track record, it is rather bleak for FaZe Clan. So many finals and so few trophies. It's been this kind of turbulent tale of close but no cigar. But this time, where the odds stacked against them, they're poised to cause quite the upset and quite the stir here in Sydney.
Yeah, especially in best of 5s, right? They lost the last 3, really. They lost Katowice, they lost Oakland, they lost Pro League finals, right? They're not doing great, really, in this format. And that's why you feel maybe with a change of... They were basically favorites in almost every single of those finals. Yeah. I think the SK one is a bit questionable because they used to struggle against SK all the time. And against Astralis now, Astralis is the favorite. FaZe has nothing to lose. So that really alleviates a lot of pressure for them. They can play a bit more loose, which is what we've seen again, using, I think it's a good term, they were a lot more fluid in their game here on Cash, so they need to keep that up across the series, and if they can do that, we can have a very competitive grand final.
And when we talk about, Overpass, there's a couple of kind of players' tendencies that I think we can highlight. What we do resolve, it seems to be a quick audio issue on the stage, one of which is Device and what he does on that CT side. Now, just quickly give me a kind of TLDR of what we can expect from him.
Actually, that's a great dynamic they have in the team right now because Magisk is playing with him towards A, right? And Magisk, a very aggressive player, Device prefers more passive angles. Yes, he can go for, obviously, aggressive peaks too. So they have a very good balance. They found very good balance between the two, allowing Magisk to go for those aggressive plays sometimes, fur rest,
sure,
pushing all the ways towards the fountain while Device is covering his angles, and vice versa. Magisk covering the close, like where angles where the rifles can just, triple peek Device and he gets all the positions covered. So it's very nice seeing them how they managed to do that.
Yeah, and when with that kind of on the other side of things, when we talk about the CT setups, we used to talk about where do you go, but I mean, there are still some strong spots on the map. Do we want to get that rain toilets conversation going?
Look, we've had that one many times.
So many times.
I think, we can just say it one more time. We've got Guardian Rain over towards A.
There it is.
But even if you're ever going to talk about a team that can find a way to minimize his effect with utility, it would be Astralis, right?
Yeah, that's true. They'd like to set the pace. Look, we highlighted the fact that Molotov over towards sandbags towards that B site from Zipnix is pivotal. The idea there is there's ways that you can mitigate that, right? You can play heavy connector and you can push out into the sewer area. You can take that part of the map away, and that's going to force the hand of Astralis to try different strategies.
Yeah, and talking about water, and I think Astralis, you need to keep an eye out for this on their T side. They have a very cool execute where they basically are faking that they're going for another default towards A, throwing the smokes towards toilets, right? Pop flashes, Molotovs, like everything's going the same. And then they just rush down connector into water, into a B execute. Like, it's the timing of that is so amazing. The players that have been throwing utility towards A, they're just rushing down B, while the other guys who have utility saved, they're throwing it over the B bomb site. So the timing is as the guys are coming down connector, pushing towards water into the side, flashes are popping off, smoke for heaven.
Where are they throwing it from?
Water. I think it's from water on B,
okay,
like outside monster, outside
as the
water.
rest go in.
Then they just go for it, right? It's just so beautiful, the timing of it. And we've seen Fnatic. I think it was a Pro League game where we saw it the first time. Fnatic had no idea what was going on in that round. So obviously it's been done now. Maybe FaZe did their research, but I still think it's a very cool execute from Astralis.
They must have so many different strategies up in their head. Like I was thinking about the other day, how many maps, how many different sides, and how many different approaches they have to have.
Yeah, you heard Carrigan say in the interview that the old Astralis, their plan was to have rounds 1 to 10 planned, and that was an issue. And I think now that it's a bit more brawly, Counter-Strike could be anywhere.
It certainly could. All right, word on the street is we're about to be getting into this one. Overpass the map. Leveling out the series, that's the thought?
Yeah, I think this is where Astralis is, again, like really, really comfortable against any team in the world. And for FaZe, there's always a chance with these individuals, but I think it's a tie here.
Looking to go 1-1. Sydney, we're ready to get back into the battle. Let me hear you. That guttural roar as you fill the Qudos Bank Arena. Lauren, Jason, it's over to you.
We've got a game. FaZe shows up huge on Cash to take it away. Overpass next, and we should have another brawl on our hands. Both these teams being effective on this map in the past. Look at the aggression. Getting right into it, and Kerrigan's gonna go down first. Guardian now, he's surrounded. He's gotta fight his way out. And they're out of position, and he's out of time. And 3 kills the way of Astralis.
This is a dominant beginning as Rain now left in the 1v5. Feeling very alone here after his teammates got completely swarmed as they went for a bit of aggression. And Astralis fired up. The perfection from Rain. Truly accurate in what he does, but would he expect this? No! Zipnix does get the better of him, and it's Astralis with a very clean, very precise, and perfect beginning.
They didn't give anything up. They kept up that aggression the whole time, knowing a second player, Guardian, not able to find his way out. I mean, obviously, they want to win some of those fights, and if you have the opportunity, you retreat through the door to join up with your teammates over towards the B bomb site, but Astralis made sure there was no chance of that. And again, we see investment from FaZe, but not everything. No armor purchased on any of these players. Scout dropped over to Guardian so that he can still have an AWP moving forward. And double nades on Exist and Kerrigan to try and find a timing and a choke point to do some damage in that fashion.
Not a bad plan at all. Plenty of potential considering there's a lot of SMGs up against them. Only one rifle, bear in mind. And Rain's the one to lead his way forward. Trying to be obscured from view. Does get himself up towards the fountain. Dupree and Device on the other side, depending on who plays up first.
You're just kind of flipping a coin if you're in Raiden's positions. You have two different angles and they're so far away from each other, and obviously you're hoping for a sound cue. He doesn't get any of it, and he still hasn't pushed forward, so no information gained. Guardian's pushed up as well, so no chance to cheat a player over towards this B bomb site. You have to hope that Exist, Nico, and Kerrigan are going to be able to hold this hit off as long as possible for Rain to have impact on the flank. Just a few kills, thin the herd, and here we go.
We've seen this hit before, we'll see it again. Magisk, the first man in, and so far this is very clean. This is very nice from Astralis. Great deals of power with the way they're approaching it. Vice does get caught off guard, but the support system's there, and Magisk puts a couple extra bullets into the body to make sure he's dead.
I wasn't happy about map 1. He's just showing off a little bit. Props to the boys on the desk. That was the strategy that was highlighted by Sponge, especially with the Telestrator and Yanko talking about it. That curve to the right to clear out towards Monster. The no-scope tag comes out from Guardian, but that's all he's going to get. FaZe is wiped off the map, and Astralis takes 2 in a row.
I guess this was a wake-up call for Astralis as well. Map 1 was never going to be easy. It was meant to be a brawl, but in their heads, they probably imagined that was going to go their way. Never thinking for a second that FaZe would come out as strong as they did.
You were, we mentioned that Kerrigan tweet, take the pressure off the boys, and as we were walking back, we actually overheard the conversation between Robin and Guardian, and it was, oh, what are you going to eat after the finals tonight? Where are you going to go? What you going to get? You going to get salad? You going to get a sandwich? What was it? So obviously playing a little bit loose on this FaZe side, not too worried. Map 1 goes according to plan. This might be a different story, though. Astralis very, very good on this map. They did lose confidence on it at a certain point. At one point, you could call them the best team in the world on Overpass, and they kind of shied away from it, but looking solid at least to start here.
I think that's just the cycle of CS, though, isn't it? If someone gets excellent at something, everyone kind of guns for them. They become the #1 target. Everyone wants to learn how they play. And I think we heard a bit of that from Kerrigan as well in that interview, echoed by Glaive, too, that you can't maintain dominance for too long. People are always gunning for that spot. And these two, you could argue 1 and 2 in the world. You could put them wherever you want after the shuffles, or how it's sitting now with obviously Olaf not in that roster right now, taking that time. So again, quite tricky to dominate currently, but a double AWP is the instant thought from FaZe.
Guardian's got no armor, and he's tagged up down to 26. Great utility usage. And actually, Astralis going for an economic slingshot. Even Exist is brought down so very low. There's a lot of SMGs on this attack.
But Rain's positioning, again, pretty paramount in this. He's got so much room building for him. It's giving people like Nico confidence to sit in these positions and feel like maybe we have a really good step to this, because Rain's still building around in the back lines. The adjustment was decent. He didn't get the full damage he wanted, but now Rain quickens the pace. He could be the absolute downfall of this team. That's going to remove a huge aspect of this hit. It's all coming from short now. Glaive and Magisk working their way in, but Kerrigan stands tall, as does Exist. They find the 1-for-1 trade out, but a 4v3 doesn't tip it either way. But Rain in the back lines does. 2 kills for him, leaving Glaive in an impossible situation. Has to remove Rain, get past Guardian. Kerrigan still there, and Nico too. Rain making this so uncomfortable for that SMG. It just simply might not be able to do it, even against such limited HP. He does somehow make that shot count. But now 40 seconds. What's the game plan, Glaive?
Yeah, Rain's already won everything, but it's okay if you're Astralis. As I mentioned, they had 4 SMGs, so they still have plenty of money built up. And obviously 2 kills is going to help out. The big thing for FaZe is the double ops setup. Still alive. They don't lose one of those, and that's kind of the heavy investment they're going to have. They can actually pass over some N4s. Still not going to be great in terms of what's behind the weaponry. But FaZe is going to be happy with their first round, and this is something Astralis is going to have to be worried about. Just considering the map that Rain had on Cash, he was very, very impactful. He did a great game, and here on Overpass, he's one of the main points of strength for FaZe on the defensive side. How he plays over towards Fountain Playground in these bathrooms, that's huge.
Guardian again fancying his chances. This time strikes well, but does take a lot for it. He really can't, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide pretty much there. Rain tries to help him out, bail him out of that situation that was spiraling. But dominance shown early by Astralis, winning out in those opening battles. Now they control that side of the map. What do they do with it?
That's one way to deal with the problem if you're Astralis. You want to temper Rain early on, so you just go right at him and you let him know you're not going to be afraid to take those fights. Guardian may want to second guess. A couple rounds in a row now. That first one he was naded back, he was damaged. This time he's just dropped clean. Does get a tag, but Nico now, you can see him playing behind the wall. He's pop flashed off this position last time, and he waits for the sound cue. Another leg, but no kill, and they need those, and they need him now. The hit through Monster coming in, and Nico just narrowly avoiding the danger. Kerrigan, the flank's doing work again, and now Nico can chime in.
What a response coming out from FaZe here. Device pushing further forward, trying to find a free fight, but I don't think he's going to get it. Oh, Nico bouncing up and down.
Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
And dupreeh in the 1v3 now. 40 seconds remain. 3 players to try and acquire if he wants to go for it. Bombs within reach. But there's no way out here. dupreeh knows he's kind of stuck. How does he try and plan his way forward? Knowing Nico may be pinned, dupreeh fakes the bomb. Here's the steps on short. That's Carrigan. And it's a game of cat and mouse, and so far, dupreeh does get a bomb down. There's the swarm. Carrigan comes in, and it's Carrigan's round from start to finish, really. Those 3 kills for him, especially after losing Rain and Guardian, was so big.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is 2 rounds in a row now. Astralis is going to be worried about their backside and these hits moving forward. Rain comes with a flank through T-spawn in round 4. Carrigan down the stairs as soon as they're hitting this bomb site. And I mean, it is born of desperation, right? You're in a 3-on-5. You know someone's got to make a play somewhere that they're not expecting, and Carrigan does just that. Allows Nico some safety in that position to get 1 more pick, and this is a calm and collected FaZe under pressure as they build back into it. The plant helps out a lot, as it's going to be a very strong purchase again for Astralis. They built up so much money. They only lost 1 player across the first 3 rounds. And even after this one, as the losing bonus builds, they'll have another buy coming forward. So FaZe still having to face a lot of AK-47s. Great damage. dupreeh and Magis put on notice.
Again, such great reads from FaZe. You know that dupreeh is eyeing up that angle for the booster. Anyone trying to jump spot that. He does that so often. He's very good at it too. The nades are impeccably placed. But what's even better is Guardian finding Glaive for free.
dupreeh going to go for the boost up. Oh, a triple nade. That's very cool. And Carrigan brought down to 14. That would have been beautiful to find. Probably a little bit shocking for him. He sees absolutely nothing, but that little trick doesn't work for Astralis. Still 3 players at the speed bomb site, and with the low HP, it's going to be so difficult. Device with the op needs to provide an opening, and Xyp9x is going to have to be way more aggressive than he's used to. The bomb is dropped back. They're going to have to pick that up as well. 40 seconds on the clock.
Device against Nico here. Look at this angle. I don't see how this works out for Device. That Molotov has really helped. Forcing him away from the angle, it does lead them in, but Xyp9x is the one to provide the opener, removing Carrigan. But keep in mind where that bomb is, Device has to back away to pick it up, so even though they have some of the site, the bomb's now being just carried over, but the spray comes out and Nico delivers towards Magisk. Exist, lovely play towards dupreeh. They're being peeled away and removed away from the site. Device in the 1v3 situation himself now. 14 seconds left. And there's surely no hope for this. Great work on towards Exist, but instantly Guardian replies with a much louder statement. And FaZe are right back at the door.
They do so much damage before that hit even comes in. It's not necessarily easy to mop all of it up, and it makes it much easier for the FaZe clan to play passive on that bomb site and wait to just spot an arm or a leg or any movement across those smokes. And obviously the ops have been so effective for FaZe. This double op setup, Guardian and Nico doing work to open this map, and it should be a little bit easier now for FaZe, although you never know with CZs and Deagles on the board. And put Astralis back into a weaker buy, and again, they're going to be presence out towards Picnic. Guardians here again, but the flashbangs are so effective. They want to chase him down, but he does get away, just barely, as Device leads. The tip of the spear for Astralis.
He spotted 2 out of this as well, so he's going to really humble them down, knowing what they're coming up against. And the instant fallback adjustment comes in for FaZe. You can see Rain playing up by that kind of, I guess, signpost. Guardian trying to find a way to keep some sort of tabs on the bathroom area. Spams away. Xyp9x receiving a fair bit of damage as well, trying to hold the back lines. That's going to sting. Blocking out the smoke. Good moves from Guardian, trying to give himself a little bit of an angle to work with. Could make the difference, but apparently dupreeh's Deagle does just that little bit better. Goes back in for more. Guardian is not backing away from the fight, but dupreeh doubles up. Oh, it's a third as well. Astralis somehow making this site seem so close. A leaping SMG, however, will create room for this build back to come in. Magis willing to take the fight, willing to take the challenge. He loses out as well. Carrigan bullishly working his way forward, and this 2v2 looks tricky now.
Device has that op, though, in great positioning from dupreeh, wrapping around. They have no idea where he's been, and I think Astralis is going to win this one out. They've played it so well They don't want to drop the ball here right at the end. The bomb is tapped, and there's Device chiming in far away. Nothing to deal with him. Nothing to deal with Dupree from behind. And Astralis is going to steal one away. Some mistakes from Rain getting caught out in the open initially, and Guardian missing some critical shots, and Astralis have responded.
Well, we all know what can happen with Dupree's Deagle on this map, and I think he's showing us as well some classic moments from him. Always so potent. But 4-3, that's the answer you need.
But even with a 3-round win streak for FaZe, they took so much damage in those rounds that the money just never got comfortable. So Astralis just applies barely enough pressure to be able to just reverse their entire fortunes in that one buy from the CZ. And you can see kind of the danger of it as well. The double op setup, the way that FaZe was using it, Nico's the next one to rotate over. And all of a sudden, once Rain goes down, you're defending the A bomb site against the most mobile and effective weapons in the game, and all you have is 2 ops. That's just not going to cut it. Astralis taking advantage of the weakened defense. And FaZe going to call a timeout to get that extra time to talk things over if they want to invest, and surely they are. All in Guardian's hands still. 3 M4s and a CZ is left on Kerrigan. Money management has been phenomenal for Astralis early on in this game.
Yeah, somehow sitting relatively well with cash in pocket still after this very good purchase. Seeing Device up for that opening fight. Takes the angle, commits to it. Guardian's looking for something new this time, however. Still supported by Rain. Kerrigan trying to find a place in that CZ. And up we go. That's a curious one. Nade doesn't quite do what it wants. Glaive might be surprised by this. He certainly is by that. Rain takes the corner in underpass and puts him down.
It's pretty aggressive for Glaive all alone. There was no one even to trap them in stairwell coming from above, and no one to trade for Glaive. This is a disaster for Astralis. They don't have map presence over towards Fountain whatsoever. Rain's getting spammed down. That's a good return through the wall, but the tough part for Astralis is they know there's going to be a fast flank coming in if they hit this B bomb site, but they also don't have a way to rotate back that easily. They're going to have to fight their way into an opening, and the absence of pressure means FaZe is going to give up the position that Astralis knew they were in.
Magic's going to hear this, though. Hearing them fall away, back down towards the site. So good information being kind of passed through the side. See Xyp9x and Device now trying to find a new avenue of approach, but 44 seconds isn't a massive amount of time. A little bit of utility shown towards long. Might not be where they end up here. This could be a bit of a double around.
They have to. I mean, Xyp9x and Device just did a cursory clear of back towards Playground, back towards Fountain, just to make sure there was no quick flank coming in. They've been punished by that a couple times already in this game, but they have to hit this bomb site. They've just got nowhere else to go.
Well, this could be one of the patented hits to a degree. We do have the Molotovs up, but the boost is huge at dismantling this. Going to make it incredibly hard to make this count with 15 seconds. So many players here. The spray's good. Dupree gets down existing. Oh no, Xyp9x finds him, but he just goes wild! Xyp9x, how many kills are you going to get? Bomb planted. He needs 2 more if he wants this to spray through the smoke. He gets a reload off. He gets another smoke down. How is Xyp9x alive here? Smothered in smoke and players at the doorstep. Goes around the corner, and Rain does manage to find him.
You got to feel for Xyp9x there. He does everything he possibly could to make that happen and just not able to. What a tough situation to be in. Survived as long as possible. A good win for FaZe. Obviously, that initial kill on Glaive just keeps them boxed into the B bomb site that entire time, and FaZe has a perfect read of this scenario. Even the boost up to get one more frag before the set piece comes in. So 4-4 all tied up. An unfortunate TK as Xyp9x does what he can to make up for it. Can't really blame him too much. A hectic situation to be in.
No, that's just how it is. Now, doesn't seem as though the timeout has been called again. Might be for...
This one's Astralis,
the
right?
Astralis
They want to talk things over. They've got plenty of money, so it's just a matter of figuring out what tactic they want to call, what they've seen so far. Haven't really taken a gun round towards that A bomb site just yet.
No, we haven't actually. We saw obviously the Deagle doing work. We saw a good bit of damage being done with the CZs too, but long way to go here still. This back and forth matchup, both teams bringing us world-class Counter-Strike on this stage here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney.
Which has been incredible. FaZe has had to build into this mode, and they've really had to, I mean, this tournament's been a struggle for them from start to finish. Here in the grand finals, hitting a good peak. Double op setup again, that's been ruinous for Astralis in this game.
Astralis having to be careful, trying to take their time on approach, considering the party did have presence there earlier. I think Device might have seen enough of maybe Guardian leaping up there that just kind of made the call happen, so they're going to have to clear through this. It takes time. You can see the adjustment already. Guardian's elsewhere.
Yeah, there is an entranceway towards this A bomb site, just a clean march all the way along bathrooms. Zipnik's watching for pushes. When does Guardian get the idea? He's got to be careful with how he plays this, considering they can go through bathrooms towards short, and he backs off, finds a timing. The internal clock tells him to back away. Just minimal amount of pressure being applied from Astralis. They haven't really picked a bomb site just yet. This is going to be tough, though. Nico and Exist are ready to hold. If Astralis tries to rotate down these stairs, they have not cleared out this portion of the map.
No, this could be a huge issue. Dupree might give a bit of a full safety report, but we'll see how far he gets before the call's made. Exist does find Device, but Magistrated out well. An uncharacteristic miss. Nico outdone, and the side is there. Was nearly 18 seconds left as well. The shots are not landing this time for FaZe. It's all going to be Astralis here. This retake is never going to happen. Such an important trade from Magisk, and obviously the follow-up onto Nico as well, who misses the flick, was expecting someone to peek from below. Not ready for that. A 5th round for Astralis now, and they've punished the money once again, so Guardian and Rain going to have to bring these guns into the next round, and that's all they can really do. The follow-up as Kerrigan tries to rotate over, just the speed of which Astralis took that bomb site was too much. Not ready for the follow-up fight from Dupree, so well played from Astralis, a good reaction. Yeah, this is certainly a good bit of play coming back in. The pause clearly coming through well, and Astralis finding that room to work, but FaZe trying out new looks, trying out new things, it seems, trying to find those pressure points to really punish the Astralis side, but for now it is a step in the right direction for Astralis, but FaZe, it seems like they always have an answer to this. That little bit of pressure that Astralis applied over towards A, I mean, they kind of gave up the fact that they had presence on the T side towards bathrooms, that they were encroaching upon the A bomb site before rotating back. That was huge. That kept Kerrigan frozen as long as humanly possible. Not realizing the presence out of door was actually a commitment from Astralis. And if you're FaZe, you unleash Guardian in this round. You tell him to go hunt down some opening kills, and Device equally is going to try and stop him here. Waiting for the pop flash, turn from it, just narrowly misses that timing, but he's going to grab a new angle. He's not ready to give up just yet. Doesn't need to give up at all. Guardian claiming the first life in this round. Takes away Glaive. Device maybe a little baffled by that, just didn't expect that play on his own, and Guardian already adjusting. Astralis trying to find a new way to approach this with only their 4 players. They do have that full set of utility, but where do you put that to play?
Guardian's the only one on the A side of the map, and he's not even at the bomb site. Astralis doesn't realize that yet, but he's been mobile. He's pushed up. Magisk is going to try and flash him off. He peeks the angle. Guardian going to slide out, gets a second. He'll be pressured by Dupree next, but he's scoped up, and he's not going to miss that. All 3 kills for Guardian gives FaZe the advantage, and Device steps up to the plate, but can't land it.
Oh God, Guardian could be on for more as well. 3 to begin. Is the 4th going to be happening? No. Device keeps it in check, but what a turn of events that is. Looked like it was all going to probably go back to Astralis only having 1 man, but that 1 man when it's Guardian, that can be something completely different.
It's the luxury of having historically one of the best AWPers to ever play the game on your team, and that's what I talk about when you say unleash him. Just have him go make every play that he wants to, and he finds you the 3 kills. Still going to be a pretty tough hold. It's Rain here with an M4, and Kerrigan with the CZ, who swings out, takes the initial flight. That's big. They now know exactly where Device is, and the off angle from Rain is too strong. He might close the round, but Guardian is the one that sealed it early on.
Absolutely, and what a matchup this is. Back and forth, it feels. Slapping Magisk into the wall. Oh, it's just too much to go towards that sort of thing. Well, let's look at the money here, because it looked good for Astralis for a while, but where's that going to go?
Well, we just saw them, right? We saw them win one of the rounds with the CZs. They were much more aggressive and much more faster paced than we've seen. This time, not as much utility. 2 Deagles, 3 CZs, flash and a smoke still on the board, and they're going to do it again. They're going to head up towards the A bomb site. Rain and Guardian falling back, and Device is the first one to apply pressure, but with no backup and not beating them to the angle, he's just going to fall away. Equally so are Rain and Guardian, but it's good to deny that map control as these pistols spread across the map, and really you're relying on the Deagles to find you something.
It worked before, but surely not, you know, 2 times. I don't see that being the case, but still, Nico going to get Magisk almost for free there. No damage being dealt at all towards FaZe so far in this round. Astralis looking a little bit bruised at this point. As Exist looking to close in as well. He's dying to get involved, but no one's going his way just yet, but there's plenty of opportunity. As Monster contains 2 players, Glaive towards Water. Here we go. You can see FaZe prepare themselves, so they know that something's coming their way. Flash, not bad. He does get 1, he gets 2 as well. Exist wants it on the action, but he just can't find it at the right time. His teammates are taking it from him. And Astralis this time not going to have a chance in hell at this round.
It's pretty important that FaZe actually has a clean round with only losing 1 player. They need to build up some money to just kind of sustain them. Astralis has applied so much pressure, and they've done such a good job of keeping their money strong that they've really maximized the amount of times they can punish FaZe. Another buy coming out here. They've never had to do more than just 1 half buy in a row before they can get the op and the AKs out on the board again. At least this time they'll be missing that op on device. But just 1 round behind, keeping in this game as much as possible. Again, towards Fountain initially. Smoke on the staircase, and Kerrigan changed his mind. He wanted to run down those stairs, but I think it was Rain that probably called him off.
Yeah, looking for a different angle. They're going to go for a bit of a boost. Actually, boost across the map. There's a Guardian there as well.
There's a gap in that smoke. Xyp9x needs to be careful with how he approaches that, but thankfully the boost has been given up by FaZe.
Yeah. Astralis getting that map control building, trying to get some presence across the board. And Rain's been so good so far. Supporting whether it be Guardian or Kerrigan on this side. Molotov doesn't quite spread too far to worry them too much, but the smoke will go up regardless. A bit of a pre-fire, going to make it a bit uncomfortable. Kerrigan's a bit of pressure here. The return fire comes in, but they're going to walk away from this.
Seemed like Rain considered firing back, but didn't want to take the 50-50 fight through the smoke. They'll be content with trading damage on a Xyp9x and Kerrigan. Pretty equal exchange as well. Now the bomb rotating back. Remember, last time Astralis was able to pressure onto this A bomb site, it was a pretty deadly B hit. Although Nico and Exist are pretty close up, and another smoke out towards Monster is going to help him out. Could be a small fake. Utility being lined up over at A. Dupree or Magisk could drop down those stairs and go meet up towards the B bomb site. Actually, it's going to be both of them. Kerrigan's aggressive enough to where he can tell FaZe that nothing is coming. It's a fake. Exist going to be called upon first, and Xyp9x looking the wrong way. Dupree shuts him down, but Nico now has a decision to make. Towards Monster, he finds the bomb, and he holds on as Guardian with the off, rotates into action.
Magisk. Not enough time for the round, but starting to warm into this matchup. Great work between Nico and Exist there. Guardian never too far away either.
No, that's a really timely rotation from Guardian to provide the long-range firepower. And Astralis, those B hits starting to be ineffective, and they haven't really been able to establish success towards A. They haven't really gone for it quite yet still with the AKs.
See that money as well for Astralis. Kind of bruised and broken here. Magisk, of course, still with the rifle, but the others, CZs. Bit of utility. FaZe on the other side, of course, looking pretty flush right now. Everything they'd ever want. And they're not relenting either. Rain going to have a little look towards Underpass, but Guardian getting humbled there on the nade. Going to have to be forced away from that one. You're going to see the response as well from Rain, having to back away too. Does not want to be isolated. Yeah,
once he doesn't have that cover from Guardian towards Fountain, he just gives up his aggressive stance. Just 1 nade causing a lot of rotations. Nice utility work from Astralis, but that's not good enough in this round. They need more, and Magisk had the 1 AK-47, and Guardian, yeah, he's been naded down to 50, but he's not going to give up every single angle.
No, definitely not. Well and truly up for the fight. Boost still into practice as well towards B. Nico there maybe watching for the play towards short, but certainly able to swing and adjust towards Dupree if required. It's Glaive and Dupree trying to build in, but Glaive's not giving away too much. Dupree, however, runs a bit of a gauntlet. I wouldn't be up for that fight either. Already down to 3 players here. A bomb plant would be almost a miracle at this point, trying what they can. There's still 3 players, of course, for FaZe on this side. The flash is really good for Glaive here. Buys him a bit of time, but in the meantime, Nico's found his teammates. Glaive tries to bail him out a touch, but they're down to 2. Xyp9x is the walking wounded, and Glaive trying to find any angle to find a kill on. 2 bullets left is all he's got. The rifle he picks up, and Xyp9x does get a bomb plant as Guardian removes his teammate and leaves Xyp9x in the 1v4.
Well, Guardian removes him easily. It makes it look pretty casual. Nice hold from FaZe, only losing Nico once again. Astralis, that plant is going to help out, but not as much as they would like. They don't have the full losing bonus yet. All that work what they did with the economy early on, it's netted them 5 rounds, but it's not being too effective. We're going to get another timeout from them. Here's the final 2 kills from Guardian as he shuts them both down. Eight to 5 for FaZe. They are showing up in a big, big way in these grand finals. No one really knew if we could expect it, if we could hope for it. Everyone, I think, was holding their breath to see which kind of FaZe came out in map 1, and they've continued it here onto Overpass.
This gets scary for Astralis as well. I mean, if you're them, you're coming to this final, you are predicted to win this one. There's no two ways to say it. You've always got to keep FaZe in mind. There's no ever writing them off, but you've played phenomenally recently. You've picked up trophies with this roster. You've looked better than everyone else. You've had a hot tournament as well. Grand final then waits, and FaZe decide today's the day we turn up.
Which has got to be unfortunate for Astralis, because usually FaZe is the team that doesn't necessarily show up in the grand finals. They usually slip here, stumble and give it away, and Rain wants to be highly aggressive this time. It's actually, remember, he did this kind of a flank in the 4th round. He hasn't gone back to it since, and now he's found a timing, and look at all the information. He's almost won this round, but there's actually only one player initially on the defense. It's Nico playing retake with an AWP. They've got to get over here quick, but Nico's going to find the first.
Really good work claiming Dupree. The site will be taken, but for how long is the question. They're really going to try and pressure Nico down, but he's up for the fight. And oh, I felt a third then was going to be coming through, but not to be. But Rain in the back line is going to make this horrific for Astralis. Surrounded all fronts, Device to claim Nico, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Glaive, the nade will do well towards Exist, but a 1v3, no plant to play with. Severely outgunned, severely outnumbered. FaZe is striding in this game now.
Rain is an assassin, and Astralis got comfortable. They got complacent with the fact that that flank hadn't come in for such a long time, and Rain found an opportune moment to bust it out once again, to go back to it. What a punishing round, and Astralis is now just, they're reaping the, I mean, they've gone to this B bomb site so frequently, and now FaZe is just, you know, if you're not going to go A ever, if you're not going to win rounds there and you're not going to be able to find kills, FaZe is going to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And again, Carrigan this time, the one to look for information. Rain's going to be playing up towards long. He's going to be the next pressure point for Astralis. Are they ready for it this time? Seems like the answer is no. Rain already being such a nuisance, such a pest, such a bother. Good damage on Magis, but a very quick shot there keeps them in good position, and the flicks are so good from Guardian! Tearing Astralis limb from limb here. And that has gotta hurt, as Glaive and Zipnix have watched their teammates being torn to pieces. The spray is desperate from Glaive. It gets the damage through, but again, they need kills here as Guardian. He's hungry for more. Unrelenting ability from this man, and Carrigan just seals the deal on the half. 10-5, FaZe are leading in this one. A shocker for Astralis. They need to pull themselves back together for the second half. 10-5 on the half. Astralis looking worried, but FaZe, what a moment to come alive for them. Guardian playing out of his mind so far.
So is Rain. He's been very, very aggressive, taking control. Nico's playing solid as well. It's a nightmare for Astralis. And FaZe ended that first half on a 6-0 run as they dominated their way to 10 rounds. And Astralis is going to have a phenomenal half, but this is where you have to expect. This is where Device needs to take over with that AWP. We saw the impact Guardian can have, and we saw the impact that Nico can have with it, and that weapon on this map can really dictate how the offense is able to play. And you got to hope that he steps up to the plate.
Storied history between these two, of course. I just want to make that noise, but my mic would make it really loud.
Could just be one person. We could just be going insane.
Honestly, insanity might exactly be what's happening. We've got a best of 5, and apparently FaZe, as said, have turned up in the finals after a tournament they have not looked phenomenal in, and this is a very different beast we're seeing. But it's CT side time for Astralis and FaZe on the T side. Let's see if they continue this deadly train of ability that's been thrown towards the Dames as Nico prepares for battle, charging towards Device, who is in real trouble here. Got to be careful, he's the only man on this site.
I think that's the only thing holding FaZe back is the fact that they just don't know how many players are here. They would have continued forward. Device, that might be a fight he likes, but he gives it up, and Device is going to play retake. The bomb will get planted. It's all on the flank. Kerrigan's going to be the first one. Rain tapping away at heads. Magis comes running out. Good trade so far into a 3-on-3.
Zis holding the line here. Zibnix Dupree working the back lines. Nico looking for the fight. Device did find a little bit of work there. So now Nico up on the ledge. Did he get spotted? I'm not sure if he did. I think Zibnix might have seen that. So Device lingers forward. Great positioning from him, being such a nuisance in the back lines. He needed that bullet to land, and Nico now wants to rain terror. The bomb continues to tick. The kick gets picked up by Zibnix, but Nico is such a problematic player to be up against in these situations, but Dupree's a little bit better here, and the defuse will be coming through. Window of opportunity here for Astralis to come back into this game.
You're exactly right. Zibnix had to pick up that kid. He actually got aggressive just to give himself the cover to be able to find that kid as it was dropped on the stairs. A little bit of a tense moment there, but Dupree holding the line, and that little hesitation from FaZe as they gave Device a lot of respect at the A bomb site, or at least Astralis a lot of respect, not knowing if it was just the one player. That small holdback is what allowed Astralis to rotate and get those responses in so early. Plant comes in on the pistol round though for FaZe, so they're going to save up for that next round. They don't want to buy here. No tactical drop of the AK-47s. No investment into this round of armor. I think it's just a P250 on Guardian. They want the AKs in the third.
Stampede of players going forward. Not particularly subtle. Damage comes out, Magis sprays in, this is nice! 3 kills. And there it is. Shuts the book on this round, Astralis keep it clean. It's down Magis, but they'll be all right in the end.
They did lose the M4 though. Magis have to reinvest in that, so not the biggest issue in the world, but small one to make note of. And here comes the buy in this next round. Good control from Magis coming through the smoke before Guardian can put him to rest, but teammate there to help out, and this buy from FaZe is quite nice. 5 AK-47s. Everyone's got full head armor, and a lot of utility as well on those 4 players, so they can go pretty deep into the strat book, all things considered. Device trying to find some information early on. The nade does decent damage onto Nico. Dupree's going to be the first test, and are they going to clear this corner? It's a 50-50, and no one's cleared it just yet. He's holding his nerve. He can't get any. He's done great damage.
The information isn't bad either. That can be passed right across to the others, and now got a good look as to what was maybe being tried there by FaZe, but FaZe hit the brakes for a second, see if anyone's going to try and capitalize or pounce on it, but no one did. Magic's pushing forward towards the toilets. He's kind of the nice, I guess, further forward man. Device there eyeing up as well. And FaZe turn their attention elsewhere. They've completely changed plan. It's over towards long now.
That's the tough part. Yeah, the information that Dupree gets is nice for about that 5-second period right after he dies, but it's in the middle of the map and there's no one in position to punish it, so it's still the opportunity for FaZe to go to either map. So you can see still very much a 2-2 split on this defensive side. Zibnix and Glaive sticking over towards the B bomb site looking for information, but the fact that they don't find any doesn't tell them anything because FaZe can still be slowly working their way there. Device now spots the arm and he takes off the wrist.
That's so good. That's a missed smoke as well. This will create a chance for the players rotating in towards this site, but Magisk is your big ace up the sleeve. He could be the downfall of FaZe here. Can't get away though. Nico catches him. He tries to disappear back into the smoke, but it's not down, and Glaive is right next to them. Work his way. Oh, that's so good from Glaive, but Nico again, his chance now to try and be on the back lines. One man does come forward. The trades continue back and forth, but Rain against Glaive now. 10 seconds remain. Glaive's still out there. Bomb now recovered. Rain going for the plant. It's a fake. Oh, and it's Rain again. So good at doing this. Consistently outsmarting opponents.
That is incredible. Challenges Glaive to a standoff. Calls the bluff. That is really beautiful work, and it's so difficult for Glaive to make that call whether you want to push forward or not. That is so, so good, and that is a huge round to win it on as well. The third round investment in this second half. And Astralis very quickly is going to be put on notice. They're going to be put on their back foot with their own economy. Magisk is 17 and 13, Device 14 and 14, single digits for everyone else. The level we're seeing Rain at in today versus the rest of the event has just been completely different.
Timeout continues to tick. 11-7 on the board. Felt like it'd be Astralis right back at the door, but no, the answer was right there from Rain. It's not the first time he's done that this tournament either, so he is certainly calling players' bluffs. He is really in it. And now let's see what FaZe have for us here. Leading the charge, existing Carrigan, first men forward. Zimnik's on the other side, probably the first closest port of call, and he is completely deleted. dupreeh now asked a huge question. I don't know what he can do about this one. He's being surrounded on all fronts. He's good for one, but that's just Carrigan gone. There's 4 more players. Oh, he's got another. dupreeh finally put down by Rain. Sends him to swim with the fish, and Device is there. Magisk from up above. And exists now the 1v2.
dupreeh has done his job. He only gets 2 kills, but he buys time for the rotations to come in to pick off those just a couple players to make this easier, and Exist has a tough task, disappears into the smoke like the ninja that he is, and rotates around to play out this 1 versus 2 from a new location.
I was waiting for that, Jason. Let's see how he plays this one out now. The retake begins, smoke goes up. They don't have a kit either. He still has a flash on himself. And the Fuse starts the lineup, not quite there. Now, position noted. Does Exist have what it takes? Sprays in again, Magisk denies, but the time. Do they even have the time for this one?
That's going to be close, I think, actually. Exists. Yeah, he already looks defeated, and Astralis does win the round in the end as it gets a little bit sketchy. Really well done from dupreeh. The double kill, surviving as long as possible. Not only that, but when he falls into water, he takes a very close angle, and he's making sure they have to wrap so deep to be able to find him. And that would have been the knockout punch for FaZe. That's exactly what they were looking for. They pick up the pace, they get into the action very, very quickly, but they're not able to find the punish, which is tough. Barely holding on is Astralis. 11-8, a timeout comes from FaZe. Even though they get the plant, they have decent money, but I think they have to hold their nerve and play it conservative here down the stretch.
Yeah, not easy for them going forward now. Gets a little bit trickier. But if they can pressure Astralis at any point, you know that money can be broken down so easy. That CT side can be such a cruel mistress when it comes to that. And FaZe, plenty of talent, obviously, individually to make those deagles, pistols, whatever they decide to go for, if they do. Now this is going to get fun. I'm seeing the buy coming in. We've got 10 more seconds until this one starts back up, but it's going to be a little bit spicy.
Risking a lot for FaZe. Bought down to the brink, 2 AKs. As Astralis trying to claw back in this game and equalize on maps at 1-1. FaZe taking cash, and here's Guardian pushing forward. He's gotten past the utility. 3 players here initially for Astralis. Glaive close up in bathrooms, Magisk and Device out towards the long. They're going to be in a double stack.
Oh
this,
my God.
This round could all hinge on this play.
Steps have heard. They know what's coming their way now. Magisk prepares. Surely the call's been made, though. He tries to take the fire in the corner, but do they get Device down as well? They trade into it. This is pretty good from FaZe, and that's incredible from Exist. Glaive gets removed from the situation, and it's a 3v2 now. The bomb's still up on long, but that'll be there in any second. Carrigan's trying to secure the site itself. Smoke walls go up, and FaZe might be doing just enough here.
dupree's going to have the long flank, though. He's coming all the way up the steps and wrapping around all the way towards long. He's probably got them fooled. Exist is looking for it. He's got full HP. There's the challenge, the immediate kill from dupree. That's huge, and Nico at low health. Xyp9x can't find him.
Time to run, time to get out of there. FaZe, the buy was shoddy, but the way they utilized that, especially Exist, great play.
It was actually frustrating to watch, though. They had so many flashbangs out towards long. They didn't use a single one to just clear that one corner. It felt like they weren't even trying to be quiet or sneaky. They were running at that point. He could have just used one flash and made that easier, but yeah, the trades, they win the fights. Nico, obviously, 2 big kills. Kerrigan, low-key, has big impact coming from bathrooms and is able to dink out, I forget who exactly that was. It might have been Xyp9x, dink him out to help Exist finish off that kill. 12-8 as FaZe respond, not giving up an inch.
I don't think you can in these situations. It's one of these back and forth timeouts as well. There's so much to be said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. That's the pressure that these teams are feeling at this moment, because the economy is playing such a huge role down the stretch that they have to keep control of it. If you're Astralis, you cannot afford to get reset with FaZe in striking distance of the second map. The fact that they're using them all here tells everyone that this is where they think this second map is going to be decided in this stretch of rounds. And if they give up too much, if they lose this struggle, not only the map might be all over, but it could even be the grand finals and a second bid for the Intel Grand Slam.
Well, it's all up in the air now, isn't it? Everything's kind of changed. This was never meant to be the way it goes down. We'd all seen the form coming into this from both sides. The timeout coming to a close. It's back underway. 12-8 now. Astralis need this one. They need to do some damage here because FaZe is starting to build into it. That confidence is starting to get there. 12 rounds in pocket now for FaZe as Guardian leads the way forward. Device stills his hand as he stares towards long.
Good position from dupree. He's actually going to start pushing through the short sewer tunnel. A lot of information, but if he goes too far, Exist is waiting, and that might be the most frustrating way to die. Just some player sat in T-spawn. We're going to get a quick abort. No damage has been dealt. So small technical issue, and everyone can breathe easy. The tension built, and now we just have to take a step back.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of keyboard issues there, so they just want to sort that one out. I'll take a little bit of time, but as you said, a lot of nerves coming in for these teams as well. Not sure whose keyboard it is. I think it's on the FaZe side. We're having the issues. So hopefully that does get resolved nice and quick. You don't want that being an issue going forward, obviously, in the back of your minds, but still.
This is going to be so tough for Astralis to come back into it. I mean, everyone, the nice thing for them is that it's not like FaZe is flush with cash. They don't have the strongest situation either, so it's kind of tenuous for both teams at the moment, but I mean, we just got done talking about the pauses coming back and forth. You can tell just how much this kind of tug of war between the money means to both squads. And Astralis reps it. What is that?
That's a look.
That is a look.
I love the way the cameraman's like, is this what I want to be seeing?
You know who'd look good in that look?
Who?
Henry.
Henry looked good in anything.
Yes, he would.
Got the Astralis fans in the crowd. Got some Vox t-shirts out there. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, got some Virtus Pro ones as well. I've seen some Cloud9 jerseys wandering around. We got it all out here in Australia.
Oh, look, Chad said at the start, and I think it's very true of this audience, they do just love good CS. They also like to see an Englishman getting beaten down. Obviously, Henry getting a good battering.
Yeah, everyone.
Firm crowd favorite. Everyone loves a bit of that.
We all love that.
But credit where it's due to this crowd. They do just love good CS, and that is what we're getting here. This is probably one of the better finals we've had in quite a while. It is the ongoing joke of normally the semifinals being the better of the matchups in the grand finals, like, oh, it's a bit one-sided, but this is delivered so far.
Well, especially when you consider, I mean, we've had the conversation about Astralis so much, we can just rehash it real quick as the king of the crowd is in there. But I mean, if you could even go back to Marseille, the dominance that Astralis showed winning that event just a couple of short weeks ago. And then coming into this, the dominance they showed in group stage, and not just that, the weaknesses on the other teams as well has been kind of the highlight of it. It's like, this is why Astralis is going to go on this tear. You know, we're all talking about having the conversation, can Astralis just win 4 Grand Slam events in a row? And FaZe has stepped up in a huge way in this Grand Finals. All of these players reaching a different level than what we saw. Everything is not been solved. The music got us all excited.
All right, as it continues, let's have a little chat, Jason. How you liking Australia?
I'm loving Australia, Lauren.
Yeah?
You can, yeah. We were here last year. I was super pumped to come back. Got another week off after this, so we're going to stick around.
Oh yeah, you're going for a nice like little week holiday with the boys.
Yes, all the boys. Gonna play some Kenny Loggins on the beach. That feels appropriate.
Is it gonna be like the Top Gun moments? You know, everyone's playing that volleyball.
Jean shorts and volleyball.
I do love a pair of jorts, Jason.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's a good point. Nico even wears them.
He does. Yeah. We saw that. Maybe that was a key to his power. Or maybe they were holding him back. Who knows? I think we'll have to discuss that.
One or the other.
Yeah, we are still working on the keyboard issue. If you are just tuning in, or if you are just wandering in the crowd, that is being resolved as much as we can. But there is always a bit of fun with this audience, and the fact that we can talk to them if we need to. Right now we're good. Don't worry. Just keep watching. Keep being serious. My tea's just arrived, so life's going very well.
It is going very well.
But the one thing I do like is the fact that, you know... Oh, you gotta wait. Oh, we've got some beautiful faces in the audience. That's attractive. I'm liking that. And yeah, no, it's always the joy of this audience is you can have a bit of fun with them, you know.
Yeah, you can have a little bit of fun. They have a lot of fun on their own. I don't really think we need to encourage that too much.
They're a little bit hungover today, so we've got to be a little bit quiet.
Yesterday was a bit weird. Yeah, turn the volume down.
Yeah, voices at an all-time low. Yeah, just a nice quiet one.
There's only one real way to solve a hangover, Lauren.
How'd you do that?
Never stopping.
Oh.
That's gorgeous.
Can you do one eyebrow and then the other? Just baiting chat. And the audience. Oh, there is the old, we could get the phone lights out, we could do that one. You know, that's a bit of a Katowice special. I don't know, do you reckon they can do it?
I think they could.
All right, guys, here's a challenge. Bit of an interactive one. We've got the clap. Very nice. Let's get a little louder, come on, folks. The louder it goes, the faster the pause happens. That's what I'm talking about. That scares the living shit out of me, folks, just so you know. Terrifying, the Stampede.
Well, we do have a quick feature we can actually bring up. Astralis did something, trying to describe a word. I think it's like a whole Pictionary type thing. So we're going to send it over to that one.
Okay, so it's somebody we played against a lot this last half year.
Okay.
In tournaments, different kind of tournaments. It's an American team.
Probably Liquid.
Yes. Okay. So when you kill 5 men on the server.
Ace?
Yeah, an ace. Some things that run around on Inferno, especially.
Chickens?
Yes.
Ooh.
We have device, and he does this a lot for us, or at least sometimes.
Sniper?
No.
Hopping?
No. It's like you can have it on your shoulder, like something you...
Carrying?
Yeah.
Backpack? Carry, okay.
And the last thing, it's... I'm not really sure if this is what I think it is, but it's a guard, an old guard.
Zeus?
No.
Hades?
No. It's with the lightning god.
That is Zeus, right?
No.
Poseidon? No, not the god. Lightning god.
And he has a hammer.
Oh, Thor.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? So if I say pimp, wearing glasses, you know, Wingardium Leviosa, and yeah, exactly. All right, so really bad players in CS:GO, like they run around like but they run around like really bad players, and like they act like machines. They're really bad.
Bots?
Yeah, exactly. So the most common used weapon as a terrorist, B31, I think. Yeah.
Like
no, B41, so it's a rifle. The most common used. Yeah, exactly.
B42.
Yeah. If I say Vapiano, you say.
Bolognese?
Almost, but
Pizza?
no. What's in Bolognese? What type
Pasta?
of? Yeah, exactly. And what do you have on your hand?
A watch.
Yeah.
Lovely work. Good game of heads up there.
They've done it. I mean, that just shows you the communication they've got with each other. That was a really nice display.
Just so you guys know, things are readying up. It looks like the issue has been resolved, so Don't worry, folks, no more interaction. You can go back to just having a drink. It's all good. Apologies, you know. But it does seem as though things are starting to warm up. I think it's just existing keyboard. He's trying to work that out. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But it does look like we are back underway in game, so we can stop staring at their beautiful faces and get this one started up. Of course, FaZe up on the T side, Astralis on the CT side. This is the second map of the grand finals, of course, here at the Intel Extreme Masters out in Sydney, and already damage coming through.
Yeah, Kerrigan's put back. That one hurts. The nade stack. Guardian swings out wide to try to use the cover of the grenade. It's not going to work. An important first kill for Astralis. They've only got 2 rifles, and already one has had impact. FaZe is very spread across the map. Kerrigan and Rain essentially, at this moment, can't do anything. It's Nico and Exist who are the only people poised to get control, poised to attack. Exist just going to patiently wait, looking for information, looking for any pushes, for any kind of a punish that he can have. 4 on 5, and Astralis still being proactive across the map. Flashbangs allowed Dupree to peek in towards those short sewers and see nothing. Just past the 1 minute mark as FaZe takes control of stairs.
Slow and steady here thus far for FaZe after that first loss, of course. Guardian. Now, on the other side, we do still see just those pistols. We do have the rifle, of course, on Dupree, but outside of that, Scout for Device working with a lot less than they'd ideally want. Magic's probably the furthest forward. Trying to find an angle to play with, but timing is everything. Exist. Hey, new keyboard's feeling real nice, but Device still shows him how it's done. That Scout does damage. And you can see the support coming in from Glaive. The CZ still good as ever. The 3v2 makes it very tricky now, as every angle could contain a threat, and Dupree is one of them. The 1v3 needed from the god himself, Nico, known for brilliance, and he needs to call upon it right here, right now. Device cowers in the corner, the shot goes off. Oh, he's got it! And now the 1v1. Dupree closing in, he's got the rifle as well, but Nico, you know what he can do. And he looks, he waits. Dupree edges forward, and Nico's a god in these situations, and he's just shown you as to why.
Oh, Astralis normally so good in those scenarios, and Nico punishes him, finds his 3 1v1s. Gets a little fortunate in this duel with Device. He knows he's got to hunt him down, but not expecting to be in the deep angle, a missed shot. But that is immediate, that is first bullet accuracy. And from there holds his nerve. What a tough scenario to be in. Almost, you could even call it a 1 versus 4 with the clock ticking down as well. 13-8, and that is a huge punish. Right before that break, don't forget, the important factor of this game was the jockeying of the economy between the two teams. All the timeouts that were taken to give Astralis that one chance of responding, and they had it within their grasp.
Always the threat when you play against the likes of FaZe. Always able to go to those depths, but not many others can. Now the economy shattered for Astralis in this round, of course. P250's up, but that's about your lot. Oh, Dupree's hoping for anything he can. And Kerrigan says no to it. The MAC-10 through the wall, pretty much. A little through the window. Close, but no cigar. Guardian now, edging a little closer as well. Glaive's head gets removed. And this is systematic destruction so far.
Astralis just has to save as much money as humanly possible. They don't really have a whole lot of tools. They didn't come in with a whole lot of tools to do damage to FaZe. They've got to look towards that next gun round, but they won't have a whole lot of opportunities after that. Astralis going to start getting a decent read, although Rain ends Device trying to pinch down, trying to find that, and Zipnix is the only one left at the B bomb site with just the USP. Same with Magis, so this will be that 14. That was quick. Guardian building up some bonus money. FaZe starting to look really good, really clean, and I know there was a big conversation. The analysts thinking, what, 3-0 for Astralis?
Yeah.
3-1 for Astralis. Well, FaZe is looking like they might set themselves up to get that 3-0 run.
Gets a little worrying at this point, doesn't it? Next map in the series starts to be considered. And that would be Train.
Oh, I love that guy.
Why did they cut away? It's all I want to see. Just teasing me constantly.
One of the greatest actors of our generation.
He is phenomenal, isn't he? A peak of what men can
Kerrigan
be. Kerrigan's got knifed?
No, that is
Wait,
a glitch.
It's a spec,
That's
spec bug. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
There we
there we go. So the next map, bearing in mind, that would be Train in this series, and that was the one that you're going to look at FaZe being the one to pick up. They love that map to play with, but right now we are into this, so we can talk about that later as a quick hit comes down. It looks like Astralis want to get aggressive, but Exist meets fire with literal fire.
I think he was spamming as well, and actually dupreeh trying to fall back into the flames, and just enough damage was done to finish him off. That is a disaster. Up on Device, still hasn't gotten involved. It's over deep into the A bomb site, running out of nades as well for the Astralis side. Under a lot of pressure, and FaZe with that kill so early on, and this is where they get dangerous, when they have that man advantage. With so much time left on the clock, when you get them into these scenarios where they can win by trades, where they can be in open spaces and find some map to work with. It's Magisk right now just holding the tide at bay, and there's the kill. No one to trade for Guardian. Karrigan and Rain not coming out. There's the swing, and Karrigan needs to complete it, but he can't. Magisk and Xyp9x chime in. I think Xyp9x even spamming. That is really well done.
How have they recovered this? You've got NiKo and Exist. NiKo first step in the right direction. Still Molotov, still smokes, but your next task is Device and Xyp9x. Not an easy one. Device has the angle. Eyes trained on this. Exist trying to negate that. Play a bit of peekaboo, but he's having none of those games. And now NiKo, you've already done a 1v3. This is a little bit too far, too hard. Too hot to handle. Astralis keeping themselves building.
I swear, man, every time Astralis needs a round, it seems like Magisk is the one delivering these double kills. He has been such a big help for this team. After that pickup, it's worked out phenomenally for the Danes, and 9-14, they're going to need more of him. They're going to need more of that impact. One more buy to burn through for Astralis as they get started on closing the gap. Device has the op still, but so does Guardian, and this is Grand Finals Guardian. He's been spectacular. Somehow gets past Device's crosshairs. But Device's aggression with the op is allowing 4 players to stack over towards the B bomb site, and look at this play. dupreeh and Magisk taking control, getting a lot of information, but they stop just short of running into Exist.
Round we go, and the call's gonna be made. You know, Device, get ready. We've seen no one either be an underpass, coming your way. They have cheated over Xyp9x and Glaive. They're both there now. Bit of a boost. Kind of the early warning system. The radar would go towards B if one of them spots another, but still not moving either. He's all the way back, expecting a very late flank here.
Just keep an eye, you know, his job is just to make sure that they can fall back towards that B bomb site if they need, and just making sure there's no kind of aggression to be able to punish any of it, so deny information if anyone from Astralis had kept moving forward. Guardian's going to be challenged here. Device far back, baiting for Glaive around the corner. A deep smoke will isolate Glaive, but there's no AK-47 player to turn this corner, and actually Glaive's just going to push up. He's going to catch him with an 8 in his hand. Rain is up next, but the flashbang helps out. That might have even been Guardian's flashbang that he had cocked that blinds him. And Glaive's going to be able to get away. Rain trying to punish, trying to get through, but I don't think he can do it. And Device now, with 1 kill, has given his team a 4-on-3 advantage.
This is great so far. I'd be surprised if FaZe can get much further. The rotations are good, the flashes are lined up. They're still going to try and get this one on the board. Xyp9x watching the cross, going to make the strike towards Rain as only Exist slips through towards the bombs. He actually, oh no, gets denied. Good work from Xyp9x there, sprays in, hoping for that. And NiKo does get the AWP, but does he get to keep control of it? dupreeh, not quite able to find him. So for now, NiKo lives to fight another day. The AWP will be retained, but a round on the board for Astralis. A desperately needed one as well.
Yeah, they really did. No bonus money, no losing money for NiKo, who has that AWP, but it's the only weapon they can really bring forward. Everyone else hovering right around 2,000 or just below it. And if you're FaZe, you've got to start playing conservative. You can't really buy this round either. Saving up as your losing bonus builds up. It's only at 2 right now.
That's a horrific bit of a joke on the old tweet there.
I didn't see that one. What was it?
If you're allergic, stay away from the stream because this game is nutty. I mean, why did you laugh? You've encouraged this now.
I like those jokes.
Oh dear. We call you Creamy Daddy for other reasons, all right? Stop laughing at the dad jokes. Anyway, NiKo is going to be your danger man this round if there's going to be anyone. Everyone else is on pure Glocks alone.
Yeah.
So send them in.
You essentially throw the Glocks into the open to help find out, and actually Rain almost just straight up finds a kill. NiKo's going to get involved, but right, you want the AWP. You want the Glocks to find you where players are, and the AWP to be able to punish and trade those frags off. Obviously not happening with that first engagement as Magisk gets all the way back to the A bomb site. Nico not being too aggressive with this, so not finding any openings, a desperate scenario. But at this point, even just taking away guns, forcing the rebuys is huge.
Absolutely. Smallest of margins can make huge impact, especially in this game between these two giants. This is the final we've been dreaming of. This is the final you don't get often. Now Nico slowly working his way up again. Just looking to be that danger man, looking to find these hits. Ximnix does find Carrigan. Nico still biding his time. No real opportunities given over. Astralis just showing some real patience here.
I mean, they've had to fight through the low economy. They don't want to go back to it, so obviously trying to preserve as much as possible. No one falling would be great for them because they still have a long comeback to go. This would get them up to 11. Still 3 rounds behind, and then FaZe would start having those AKs back out on board. Nico, is he just going to save the op again? I think he is, because they're going to buy in the next round, so he just keeps it alive so they don't have to invest. Maybe an AK-47 dropped over to him, but it's all decided if he can keep that op, and he does. 14-11, and here it comes. The op is passed over to Guardian. Carrigan, Nico, Rain, and Exist all with the AKs, but Astralis have very strong buys as well.
(14-11). FaZe still very much on the verge here. If they get 2-0 up in this series, it does get a little bit questionable for Astralis, of course. Mentally, it starts to really tear at them, but still room to work. Nico, though, maybe fired up off of this one now. Having to be reserved in the last couple. As he Device looking for an opportunity to strike there, but falls away from this.
Obviously knows the angles, and they talked about this, Magisk being the aggressor between Magisk and Device at this 8 bomb site, going to force Nico back, and that Molotov is the indication that someone has controls. Someone that they don't want to have control. Over towards Fountain. Magisk almost looks away, can only get the one. A good trade from Guardian.
You know when you're playing games with your friends and you're just pushing up aggressively and just go, they're literally in their spawn.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, you have to expect, if you're going to throw that Molotov, that should give away the game that someone's pushing up. Yeah, it's keeping them back from being able to punish you as much, allowing you to gain a lot of ground. Here's the tough part. Glaive is starting to push up long. Device is going to be on that side as well. And when this B hit comes in, they're going to be so far from providing help. Dupree and Ximnix, this setup has got to be effective. It has got to be destructive to the attack.
Dupree's sitting anti-flash right now. Swings on this one. Ximnix still alive. Oh, what a time to come into the matter. Dupree lighting up the scoreboard. That is a round to remember for them. They were so isolated from the others. The 2 other players were so far away. Those 2 right then, between Ximnix and Dupree, had to lock that down, and FaZe had the approach. But now the problem is, where's the money at?
Where is the money at? It's not looking good. It's going to be, it looks like another investment coming out. Exist is already bought up. 14-12, a timeout's going to be taken. Actually, they're saying that is a mistaken buy, so going to go for a reload as well. 14-12, and this is the tough part. Towards the early stage of this half, you can tell, I mean, FaZe was just this momentum-based team. They could be so deadly when they have the advantages, when they are able to pick up the pace, but they haven't been able to be aggressive. They haven't been fast. They've been tempered by some of the utility usage by the up from Device. They're worried. They don't want to get picked off by it. Starting to get stale, and Astralis is starting to be able to read what's coming. So if you're FaZe, you've really got to throw in a different look. This might be the perfect time for it, considering you're only going to have those upgraded pistols. You can be fast-paced, you can be mobile. CZ's, Deagles, and a P250 coming out, flashbangs as well.
Golden opportunity. See what they do with it. Could be fun. And Magisk completely eating that flash. Going to back away with Device. Glaive does get a little isolated if they do fully back from this, which is probably in the back of his mind, certainly. And especially with this wrap coming in, they're going to go towards long, so Magisk now needs to be aware. I'm not sure if he's had steps. He might have. He's going to see him now. So the charge continues. They're not slowing down for a second. This actually means Astralis are a little out of position here. Nico can play off as well. This is a bit problematic. The Molotov is good, and the kill's even better. Magisk retains control with Device, and the speed might have been there. The power, but the momentum continues for Astralis as Nico left. No. In the 1v5. Not going to happen. The build-up, the wind-up, the tease. It doesn't come through.
Well, Nico still has 25 kills in this game. He's been incredible. Magisk is actually beating him as well. 27 for the new Astralis player, but 14-13, and they're going to need, those two players need to step up. This is really well done from Astralis. You have a lot of pressure coming from behind as well. I was about to say they communicated it very effectively, but even a player running into his crosshair.
But we've got a new double AWP here. Dupree picking this one up. I haven't seen that yet really this map. We've seen him a couple of times here toying with it. We've seen him on Dust too a hell of a lot. So this could be fun. That's not, if you're an Astralis fan, Guardian getting one for free. They're getting complacent, and Guardian will punish that every day of the week. That is one of the first opening picks FaZe has had in some time, it feels. Astralis has been dominant in that department. And again, two players out towards long, two players at the B bomb site. Xyp9x and Dupree might be called upon again to do something incredible. FaZe winning this would put them on map point. They'd get two chances at it. The opening of the doors, Dupree peers in. Rain not going to fall for the trap. But the rest of the map is pretty much in control of FaZe. They have control of the stairs, they have control out towards B, they have fountains, and they're going to start gaining control of bathrooms as well. Yeah, a bit of a hit squad roaming for the CTs then. They do eventually settle back towards B. And last time they delivered when they held this. It was double stack towards Monster and they were fine, but this is a different round here. This is a lot of time though for FaZe not to be pressuring anything, not really actually moving as much as I thought they would. Look at the utility on Astralis, keep your eye on that, because the third smoke is just used. There's still two remaining and two Molotovs as well. There's utility. Once FaZe gives up the game, they don't have time to readjust. This next hit from them has to be the final play, so the Molotovs can be very, very destructive to any idea they have. 20 seconds remain, and it's, oh, this is lovely. Look what they've done. Dupree, Xyp9x, they're all running away. It's going to be this B hit. Dupree might have just changed his mind for a second. He's considering maybe they're not here. Oh, and now maybe cometh the hour, cometh the man. Dupree, he delivers. Guardian goes down. Xyp9x goes forward. He gets punished, but he needs to wait on support. The bomb's planted. It's a 3v3 retake. And FaZe are locking this one out. This retake is not easy at all. Rain sits in the corner, the trade comes through, but it's Karrigan, the headline star. And Device now left in the 1v2. Nico up on short. Device looking for where he can go, but Karrigan, his position is so paramount right now, and he has just outdone them. Karrigan, the one-man army, has pushed FaZe even further. That's Karrigan that won map one with the clutch, and he's done it again here. Not won the map quite yet, but he's put him in great position. He gets all the kills in a tense situation in the post plant. Two kills that allow Nico to get in a position to help out if needed, but it wasn't. He closed it out with a third. Nice fake call from FaZe. Astralis had the same thought process that I did, that play was going to be their last one. Utility used towards the A bomb site, rotate down the stairs in towards B. They set it up throughout the round and pull it off perfectly. 15-13. Astralis may be feeling a little doomed here, and I would be too. FaZe bringing some real fire to their performance in this second map. It's a best of 5, keep in mind, so it's not all over. We do have another one to go after this. Happy Train. Another stronghold for FaZe, of course. But now this round still needs to be dealt with. OT was what was called upon in the first map. Astralis would have to obviously get this in the follow-up to even consider that. Ooh, bit of a boost up here on long. Yeah, but if FaZe just marches up with this hit right now, if they just make it happen right at the start, this is going to be tough to defend against. It'll be Device and Magis out towards long, and they'll kind of be stuck out of the fight. Question is, can they stop the plant? Karrigan's going to come in. Magis, Device, and Glaive are all here. One player's going to lurk out towards long for FaZe, but Glaive trying to get through. There's Magis. Nico wasn't ready for it. It was so quick. Device coming over the top is going to burn, but Glaive is holding them off still, and Magis still doing work. He gets a follow-up, 3 kills. I mentioned he always answers the call for Astralis. He's done it again. It was a fake last round. This time it was real, but FaZe get reminded Astralis are certainly up for this fight. Magisk, as you said, an incredible play from him. Glaive being such a nuisance as well. And Guardian trying to back away from this, but look at these guys. They're hungry, they want it, but Guardian's no free food. He's going to make them work for their meal if they get it. And away we go, trying to keep hold of this AWP. Desperately needed if they want to close this out in regular. Yeah, they absolutely will. The money's not great. Exist is going to be stuck on an upgraded pistol. This is a pretty harsh reset, all things considered. They're going to be scrambling to try and find AKs. They need that AWP, and he will keep it. He'll frag Xyp9x right at the end. Keep the AWP in his hands. And we'll see what FaZe is able to buy if they want to try and take
this second map in regulation, we could be facing another overtime already on map 2.
Let's have a watch of this one again. How do we play this out? Such a good player. All right, FaZe on 15, Astralis on 14. This could be OT in map 2, and that would be ridiculous. What a matchup we're getting here in the grand finals. Guardian wants to get this started with a bang, but no one wants that fight. Dupree's just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to go down there, but he's actually going for this one. Dupree just off to the left. Guardian, if he gets this, that would be insane. Dupree now has to wait. Fire comes in, but he gets the better of him. That's a big blow to FaZe. That's why the big gun's removed. They still have SMGs. They do have the rifle on Nico, though, so maybe there's still hope.
Here it comes, up sandbags. They're held off at the moment. Flashbang's utility being used. That smoke might just stop FaZe in their tracks. Kerrigan's gonna come up and try and get that AWP. I think it might just be out of his grasp. He's gonna swing around, and the rest of his teammates can't do anything. They were relying on an opening pick from Guardian. You have to love that call. You put your star player in position to create something for you. Too tall of a task, but Kerrigan holding the angle, and no one from Astralis is going to challenge it. They're so mindful that now they don't have anyone to hold it. No reason to go back with the man advantage.
Oh, the flash is so good. That's going to force Kerrigan away. He does pick up the AWP, so they know that, but it's Zipnix towards Exist. And a 5v3 sits very well like we're going in towards OT. Kerrigan tries to do what he can, but it's Dupree at the helm. And it looks like he wants more rain. Charges in. He's got 2. The third is not going to happen, but OT will. This is what you can expect from world-class Counter-Strike and one of the best grand finals we've seen in a while.
This has been an incredible back and forth. This is a phenomenal performance from FaZe that we were all doubting coming into it, but Nico, that huge clutch he was able to have in the second half, they did so much to try and win that, and Astralis able to claw it back. They've got plans for every different circumstance that they can hit. Double up setup coming out for the CT side, and I want FaZe to go back to it again. I want FaZe to be able to call Guardian's number here. Tell him not to shy away from these fights. And here we go. Device is going to challenge first. Flashbang out, and Guardian couldn't find the angle quick enough, and he's going to be stopped. So yeah, letting him off the leash a little bit, letting him be assertive, but obviously trusting him to make the right decision of backing off if he just doesn't have the fight, and almost finds it there.
Your heart almost skips a beat when you see that sort of thing happening. How does he get away with his life? And now FaZe looking for that next moment. How do we try and crack this round open? Who's going to give us that chance, or do we have to fight for this one? And fight it might be. Out towards long we go. Magisk and Device will be the ones to meet this play. You might have heard these steps. I think the call's being made. Device's eyes turn. Where will they go next? We know the fakes have been good from FaZe, so they can't fall for this wholeheartedly. Magisk now wants to pounce, and that is a complete read. That is such a play on the other round where that happened, but that follow-up, you can't expect that.
No, that's beautiful. Is Nico actually going to go through this? I think he missed his timing, but he still wants to do it anyways. Flashbang going to hold him back, but he's found a gap. The rest of FaZe is here. They want to hit this, but Zipnix has the first. There's the swing. He's got the follow-up. Can he hold the line for just a little bit longer? Yes! Zipnix is playing so clutch. And now a blind kill. Kerrigan is forced away. A 2-man advantage has been shut down.
The man will not be moved, and they're reading this final moment coming in from Exist. Oh, that's a shot though. And now the 1v1. Oh, he's done it! How does he do that sort of play, Clave? I know how you feel, buddy, because I don't think any of us understand that.
The difference in reactions, Clave is stunned and he's so confused how he doesn't get it, and probably frustrated as well, but he's got to fix the emotions quick. He's got to call a tactic in this next round, and Exist, you can see, just happy as ever, and this is going to be the thing of nightmares. He'll never forget that round. FaZe steal one away from Zipnix, who is stellar. 16-15, here we go again. Dupree running through the flames, wants to make a play. The AWP coming towards door. He's going to open it himself, and he finds nothing, and that's a nice flick. Excuse me.
Jesus. 5v4. FaZe put back on notice. Exist. Oh, Dupree's had enough. He's had enough this round. He's like, all right, guys, I'm just going to do this all myself if I have to. 3 now remain for FaZe. Not much ground gain throughout the map. They're still over there by the fountain, working their way up. Device keeping control of those toilets, and let's see if they can read the plan now from FaZe, because they've been so hard to guess.
They have been, but I mean, you know, I mean, look at Glaive. He's all the way pushed out, so that's huge for him. You can kind of start to piece together the information. And if you're Astralis, you have the luxury of being able to play this passively. You can, yeah, Glaive spots it out here, and he's just going to fall away. Drop the smoke, that's going to delay. That'll be 17 seconds. So 31 seconds on the clock when it clears out, and he's already disappeared back to the bomb site, and Guardian's going to have to waste even more time clearing out all those angles close up. So tough scenario as Guardian uses a flashbang here, jumps through the smoke. He wants to get in right as it fades. I don't know if FaZe can do this.
Not particularly believing in this one. Bit of utility obviously left on the CT side too, to make it even trickier. And that's going to make it very hard. Glaive finding a kill, matches toward Nico. It looks like this might be that step too far, and Astralis are right back into it. Guardian is good for the kill towards Magis, but 4 more in his way. And Zipnik seals the deal. We are back all even. No step without an answer. 16-16.
Double up setup. I mean, Dupree, who would have guessed he would be the most impactful opera. Device has just dropped himself an M4 back in CT spawn, so if he needs to fall back, he can swap it out. He can be versatile. But it's Dupree to find the openings, and we know he likes to be far more aggressive with his peaks with the AWP than Device does. Got a little taste of it there. Here we go again. What does FaZe bring out this time? Looks like Astralis wants to challenge down the stairs. 3 players. Glaive, Magisk, and Device to hold. The boost up onto the shelving.
This is a fun little stack. Let's see if Exist can dismantle this one. Not easy. Glaive not going to give anything away.
Oh. He's been so good, Exist, and he finds one, calls out the information for the second.
There's no one on A. Obviously, FaZe have no idea of this.
Dupree's starting to rotate back right now, and I think he's going to beat them there. So is Zipnix, and Device is going to have a fast flank. They never actually saw Device there, so he can pounce much, much quicker than they thought, but he's actually evacuating the staircase altogether. Here it comes.
Hit coming in, Molotovs go forward. Dupree now under pressure. Molotov starts to burn, and Zipnix to find Nico, but Kerrigan right back at it. So far, so good for FaZe. The bomb should be planted, and it's safe for now. And Device in the back line's coming through. Nade comes in. What's the timing like on this flank, though? Kerrigan already considering it. Device so close by, but precision is paramount, and he's got just that. But it's Guardian now starting to linger forward. Takes down Device and looks for the follow-up. Rain towards Bank, and now Glaive left in the 1v2. Heartbreak on this site just moments ago. And it might be something similar. Guardian up on long, Rain up close. The steps have been made, and there it is. The AWP to the chest will do the job, and FaZe lead on the half.
It's so important to have someone like Guardian who's willing to go hunt down the next fight. I mean, if they just sit in their spots and wait, they can't help each other, and they're eventually going to get picked off by Device on that flank. So Guardian just doesn't want to sit it long and just wait for the next move. He actually goes and finds Device, which allows them to feel safe from that angle and really shrinks the amount of positions they have to worry about, makes them comfortable. And off the back of a miraculous clutch from Exist, FaZe is going to be up. 19 once again is the magic number. FaZe need 2, Astralis need 3. Back to the T side, Astralis goes. They really struggled. Remember, this ended on a 6-0 run for FaZe in regulation. A good kill from Guardian. Gonna try and get away. Rain is brought down low, but he's gonna disappear as his teammate is taken out.
Yeah, that was absolute madness to start off the round. It looks like Astralis just bringing that aggression now. They want to take those fights and take over that real estate, but do lose out Magisk in the meantime, but so much damage done. Taking down Guardian and taking Rain low is a big, big start.
And Rain can't actually get away. He's got to stand his ground here. Zipnix has made a play out of Monster. Rain's still waiting for the next piece of action. He's got no one to help him out. He's called out that I'll play for myself. Don't overcommit trying to save me, and now he's going to get aggressive. He wants to find the information. That might be the biggest play that he can do here. Where does the flank come in? He's being quiet. If he turns, the timing of this is huge, and he's going to find him. Rain, he's going to get bumped. Sprays him down, and Kerrigan. Oh, a missed shot from Device. That's not good. FaZe is going to be on 2 map points. The nade does the damage. Device in a 1-on-2, 30 HP. If he somehow pulls this back, it would be So miraculous, so huge, but I think Exist has him outpositioned.
How do you expect Exist? I don't think you do. Device, he doesn't know what trouble he's walking into, and there he is, Exist in the back lines, but it was all Rain on the positioning, and FaZe poised to get this map under their belt.
18-16, one more round, and FaZe will be up 2-0 in this grand final. Appropriately, a timeout called as Astralis feels the pressure.
This feels very similar to what we saw on the first map. Very similar. Astralis fell a little short. Please don't. I'll just wait on that timeout. Let's come through.
That is I think the last time out of both of these teams. They've both exhausted theirs during that tug of war earlier on in the half for the economic advantage. 18-16. Astralis need 2 in a row. Device on the up. Gonna lead the way. Would love to find this pick on towards Guardian. Guardian gives it up quick though. No reason to risk it for him. A deep smoke for Exist, and actually you can see Astralis scramble a little bit, thinking maybe that's going to allow for some aggression, allow him to get pretty deep through Monster before they notice him. It's not actually coming at the moment, but all of Astralis is huddled behind these smokes. There's 5, 6 smokes on the board at the moment. A lot of utility used by FaZe. Kerrigan, Exist, and Nico about to be tested. There is about to be an explosion onto this bomb site.
Is this the hit they go for? Does Kerrigan read it? Does he know? He can't see it. The damage is coming out. They've read the play. The nade is good though. Magis lands the touchdown on Exist, but do they go on it? Is that the springboard? Do they hold? Do they wait? They adjust. Nico and Kerrigan unsure of that next pressure point.
It has to be. It has to be the move, because Rain
no.
has got them trapped in. Another flank coming in. This has been a disaster for Astralis throughout the match.
Back to the wall, CS now coming in. Dupree's the first man forward. Zipnix, he delivers on Kerrigan, but Guardian is there. Adjusted well, but the read's perfect from Astralis. Oh, and up and over the head we go. Astralis bring us further into this matchup, and it's the final round of OT.
That triple nade stack once again. It earlier got Kerrigan down to about 15 health. This time it clears out Exist. And that had to be the end game for Astralis, because they had all 5 players towards that B bomb site at that point. There's no falling back from there. Still needed the great entry, still danger with Rain coming on the flank, but the fact that FaZe couldn't mount any defense means it's a pretty useless flank at that.
It's happened before. We'll see how this unravels. Last time it was Kerrigan dealing that final deadly blow in that 2v1 on Cash. Now, Guardian gets completely decimated as Astralis fight tooth and nail for double overtime. They don't want this to end now. They want this map, and they want it damn bad. And right now, 3 players working their way up towards long. Rain's adjusting, but they've still got options across the map. Astralis don't need to be so quick. They can slow down the pace if they want to.
The tactical bombardment with these nades has been so deadly for Astralis. It netted them the previous round. It might just get them this one as well. Nico's brought down low. And this FaZe clan defense has been spread thin. Rain is getting tagged through the smoke as well. He's looking for something, holding his nerve, and now gonna fall away, but the entire map is available to Astralis with a minute left.
Let's see how they approach us now. Smoke's being lined up, Molotovs go in. They've kind of gone all in towards A here, and it's just Kerrigan alone. 5 players right at the doorstep, and this time Dupree wins out. And the smoke's going up, everything's looking good here. The bomb's on the way. 3 players on the retake look unlikely, but with this caliber, you never know. And that's a great beginning for Rain. Dupree eliminated. Where's the next step in this?
Surely not. I mean, they have so many players to find. Not a lot of time. They do have kits, but they've got no smoke to cover the defuse. They have to find all the kills. And Astralis is just waiting for the indication of where they're coming from, and they're all going to be able to pounce. Device holding the line from far back. Here's Exist swinging wide, dropped immediately. It's Rain up next, and there's the precision. There's the accuracy. They've got so much more to do, and Nico is going to get caught. We're going to double overtime.
It wouldn't be right without it. 18-18, of course, we do go into double OT. What a matchup this is.
Yeah, both of these teams just matching each other blow for blow. This has been great, and obviously if you're Astralis, the coordination of these triple nades that you've found out, this is really cool to watch. Guardian just gets dunked in that previous round to start things out. All tied up here as freeze time comes to a close, and still FaZe Clan going for this double off setup. It didn't yield them that great of results. It was great in regulation. It was Nico and Guardian show. They were finding frags left and right, but now that we've gotten to overtime, Astralis has really found the counter for it.
See if that continues now. See what they can bring going forward. Astralis really need to pick up the pace. Do remember FaZe were leading, kind of how this one went for a good bit of time. They had their tear, but Astralis now starting to claim back some of that pacing, some of that pressure. And they build themselves into this heavy lean towards B, but aggression towards short from Nico and Exist. Supporting each other, the flashes come in, they can be out of position, but this could play well. They're not off to the worst beginning when you land that sort of shot. dupreeh gets reminded, flash goes high. One comes back in. Kerrigan, while all this madness was happening, took the time to adjust well, and they're down to 2. This hit is completely disjointed now. Yeah,
they didn't have any cover to get up the ramp from sandbags. It came in too late. Nico was able to get that pick, and that pretty much stops it, and now the reinforcements have arrived. FaZe looking solid, at least this round. The Ops have netted them 3 kills, and Nico, that's a missed shot. He's going to go for it with the pistol whip, and he's going to get it. Device, some frustration at the end. 19-18. Looking for 22 in double overtime.
FaZe building well now. Nice start. See, Astralis pretty very frustrated in that, but
this is where it can start to get scrappy, because remember, both teams are out of timeouts entirely. So they have to make things up on the fly. They have to play a lot on memory. They can't just hit pause and call some kind of set piece that they can rely on. It's all figuring things out as you go.
We'll find out how creative they can get, how much they can get done in that very limited amount of time they have here. Obviously, Magisk working his way forward very quickly. He's got real fire burning underneath him. He wants that presence. He's been let off the leash, but dupreeh's the one to get picked up first by Guardian, who found that room to operate somewhere. Rain now from the depth comes around. He can't get more than one, though. This time it's Kerrigan. He's carrying on. Kerrigan, what are you doing? 2 kills. Adding insult to injury, Astralis do what they can, but FaZe have picked up pace that they just cannot match.
This is what I mean by scrappy, never-ending aggression, and FaZe knows the flanks have worked out for them in the past, and they're going back to it, and there's unrelenting. As soon as Rain gets punished for the flank, Astralis thinks they're all done. They're in the clear. They can move forward, and it's Kerrigan to follow things up and Guardian to finish it.
What a statement is being made here from FaZe. This is very, very powerful play coming back out, and this is what happens when you don't have that OT, when it kind of goes off script, when nothing continues to work like it used to in this follow-up. You're just not expecting it.
And Astralis needs this last round. It is so disheartening to go into switching in overtime when you've gone down 0-3. Yep. No cushion, no safety net if Astralis loses this round for them. Here we go, Guardian. And Nico still with those ADVPs, haven't been taken away from them. And he's going to be perched up in bathrooms. An early warning system. Smoko's going to try and find the timing and just narrowly misses it. Going to still go for more. He's got to be careful he doesn't hang around too long, but at the moment, some semblance of control for Astralis across the map.
They've had to fight incredibly hard for this, and you're still so worried that, you know, where are they going to try and push us from now? Where are they going to come from? We've had Kerrigan and Underpass, and look at range. It's still creeping pretty close. He doesn't want to let go of this. And here's some of these steps. He's going to call that out to Guardian. Information's passed through. There are players now building up on long as well, so keep that in mind. This is not just one position being worked out. Smoke's going up, shadows being seen, and Rain wants to do so much damage. He's toying with it now, turns, the flash comes back around, but dupreeh outdoes him. But Guardian knows what's coming his way, but does he expect Device this far forward?
I don't know if Device expects him to be there. He's going to sink back behind the truck. Here's the swing, there's the kill. Guardian hunting him down. Holding onto the A-bomb site. Device still not being able to get involved. He's at such advanced position and he gets punished for it. There's the clean sweep. FaZe take all 3. One away from going up 2-0.
This is savagery from FaZe. They are looking so formidable right now. Those rounds back to back, aggressive, potent. All the words apply as Astralis look dejected as they've just been pushed around this map. And they now have to do back to the wall CS the whole way to another round of OT if they even want a chance at this one.
And they even had to fight to make a comeback happen in regulation. I mean, that was a tough battle for them to even get into overtime. And now another one faces them, a daunting task in Magisk. In the staircase, counter Molotovs being thrown out by each of them, and FaZe exists, he's blind, he's gonna try to spear to the smoke, and the spray comes through, and who's gonna win it? They've equally tagged each other in the drive-by, doesn't finish him off.
They have at least quelled the aggression for now. They've contained some of that initial threat that was trying to come through. They've humbled them, but look at the damage continuing here. Straight up on the double open. Actually tell a lie, the aggression is not stopping. FaZe are going right on in. Xyp9x gets punished for the nade from the grave as Magisk and Glaive block this down. They're fighting with everything they have to try and even take it into another OT just to stay alive here. And it's Guardian in a 1v3. Nades, Molotovs, orbs, everything's being thrown at FaZe. Astralis, the first step in a very long climb back into this OT here. Not an easy one at all.
That is very scary, though. You can tell FaZe have just picked up the pace in this second overtime. They want to be aggressive at all times, kind of going for that shock and awe feeling. Astralis, the defense, barely holding on. A low rumble as this round gets underway.
Why'd you say it was a low rumble? Now listen to them. Damage on Dupree, they're getting so tagged up early on, trying to get this information towards water. Look at Dupree and Glaive, though.
Listen,
very aggressive.
Yeah, it's all well and good. They have the position they can want, right? So even that damage isn't too critical. I mean, obviously it's not great, but they got exactly what they wanted, but they're going to fall away from it. Door is opened. This is a deadly angle with Yop. Guardians on the other side. What a big fight this would be for Dupree to win.
Did he just predict the boost? Ooh, Guardian. Incredible approach, but it's Device who's going to receive the first real port of call here, unless Magisk maybe swings on it. Up on long.
I think this is miscommunication. How does Magisk not realize that he turns now and somehow wins that fight?
That nade could be deadly as well. There it is, it does land. Guardian goes down, and Device doing wonders for Astralis in the final throes of this OT. Eyeing up the second go of it, and these nades are just finding their marker.
Yeah, Astralis' utility usage has been on point throughout this map. Exists, going to be challenged next in this slow pace from FaZe. It's exactly what an opera like Device wants. He's so comfortable in this scenario, and Rain has been spotted out. He's got to fall back, but there's no retreat. Device is here. He's going to hold you in. Rain hunting for him, but he's not going to get anything. 20-21.
Double OT or heartbreak in the final round of it.
Ooh, nade coming in, quite nice.
Not bad, huh?
Device has been stellar, and FaZe, that's one of those rounds. I just mentioned how aggressive they've decided to play these overtimes. That one they slowed down and just get feasted upon.
All right, well, another round of OT looms above us. And we'll see how this one goes. Aggression on the CT side. That's a ballsy play at this conjuncture. Already aggression from Magisk coming out. He wants to keep map control, but look on the other side of the map here. Dupree, are you up to task? You got players coming your way right about now. The flash is so good from Rain. Is this going to be it? Is this the swan song of this map? Glaive says no, and so does Xyp9x. The bomb's on the site, but there's only 3 players to try and defend it, but Nico is one of them. Short's under his control for now. Xyp9x finds Guardian. Exists replies. It's a 2v2 after plant situation. Nico towards Short. Exists on the site. The fight is his. And now it's Magisk, the boy wonder, left in the 1v2. He's got all the utility in the world. He's got the kit. But Nico, he's got the position, he's got the timing, and he might be the one to finally do this. There it is, FaZe! Map 2 underway, underbelt, eyeing up the third. Incredible performance from these boys. This game is going the distance.
It took 3 players on FaZe and 30 kills to counter Magisk on 40. We questioned if the individuals would show up, and they are here. We're going to a break. When we return, the desk in map 3.